Welcome to our latest ICN Player Profile interview. This is Coach West coming to you from Brooklyn. I'm joined today by the one and only Vicky V, famous Vicky from one of our premier Manhattan programs, one of our superstars. Hi, Vicky. How are you?
Good.
I see. I see you have some. You have some little items there for show. What is that stuff you got there?
They're my trophies.
Those are all chess trophies you've won?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little, just a little about yourself? How old are you and what grade are you going to be in September? And when did you start chess? Anything that you know, like your personal history.
Okay, well, I'm 9 years old and I'm going into 4th grade. And I started, this is really, I think, this is really my first year doing chess tournaments.
Which is your first year? Coming up?
No, this year.
This last year was your first year. Yeah, I think you kind of had a meteoric rise. You rose through the chess ranks very quickly and got good very quickly. And you're going into 4th grade, correct?
Yes.
And I feel like I met you, let me think for a second now. I feel like I met you in 2nd grade. Is that when you started chess in 2nd grade?
Last year.
Yeah. So, okay. So you've done chess now for 2 years. And the first year was in club, and the second year you branched out, right?
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of tournament experience in 3rd grade?
Yeah, but I went to Florida. I wanted to go to Chicago, but instead I'm doing the summer league now, the ICN Summer League, and I did chess camp for a bit.
Yeah, we had some big plans ready for Chicago.
Yeah, I was really excited.
I know. Oh my gosh, that trip is one of my favorite ones every year. Going to Chicago in the spring. It's usually still pretty cold there in the spring, but that trip I really was sad to miss. So much changed about chess life. As you say, you were an active tournament player before the shutdown, but then you were also still pretty active after the shutdown, and including the summer.
Yeah.
Do you like doing chess stuff online?
Yes, I think it's much more easy and flexible to review the games with my coach.
Oh, wow. You mean you feel like you get more done in the online version?
Yeah, but I also really like playing chess in person because in person you can make friends at tournaments.
Yeah. So do you miss your teammates in the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I feel like we talk about this a lot when we're trying to plan our chess team for going into the fall, and we think, what's the biggest thing we miss? And it's always that. It's always the community part, being around each other and together. Yeah. But it's very interesting that what you point out about online chess being more effective in some ways. Is there anything else you like about it?
Well, I also like it because I don't have to notate, and usually my hand gets hurt, and I have to focus on notating.
Yeah, it does all the work. It does the notation work for you. That is very, very handy. Do you find, here's a question that I've asked some kids about this because it's interesting to me. When you play over the board and there's a different kind of nervousness when you're playing against a real person you can see in front of you and you can see them looking at you. When you're playing on a computer, do you feel more relaxed or less nervous, do you think, when you're on a computer?
Well, I do feel definitely more relaxed because I know that I'm safe at my house, and it's also they can't pressure me, and I feel much more relaxed.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They can't say it's your turn over and over again like kids do at chess tournaments sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They can't kick you under the table or anything, right? I actually had my key question about online versus in-person chess is, do you play faster online or in person when you're in a real chess tournament? Which one do you think you play faster, tend to play faster?
Well, I learned to play much faster now in online chess tournaments because I've learned more. But I think if I played a tournament now, I think I might play faster in a regular. Well, I think I might have played faster in an online tournament
That's really interesting. Yeah, I have.
because
Go ahead.
well, yeah, because when like I move the piece, I'm sort of sometimes careful not to knock anything else over.
Yeah. No, you mean literally play slower, but also you make a good point that since you know so much more now, you go through some of the moves you can move through faster because you know openings better, you know middle game structures better, and so on. Speaking of that, you've improved. You probably have to be one of the most improved players on our team over the last year, I would say, because you really do a lot of work on it. What is your chess routine? What do you think it makes you a stronger player? Like, what are the things you do that make you stronger?
Well, I play the ICN Summer League,
Yeah.
and like an hour before every summer league day, I prepare, I like do puzzles, review some of my games, but with myself, like look at them
Mhm.
if I know who's playing in the tournament. And then on the weekend when I usually play the octagons, and then I review my games with my coach.
Excellent. Coach Logan?
Well, I have another coach that I've been with for about a year or two now.
Yeah,
His name is Carlos.
Coach
Carlos.
Carla.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you really are playing a lot. So okay, there's a couple things there that are very useful. Number one, you said before the rounds, you like prepare, you get ready, you warm up.
Yeah.
This
And
is
I sort of like calm down and drink water.
Yeah, this is something I wish kids would do more if they're playing in like summer league or the camp games or anything they're doing. This idea of getting ready for it by doing puzzles or stretches or whatever, like drinking a glass of water, whatever it is. Puzzles though is key. I think is very important. And then the other thing you said was that you make use of the games when you're done with them. You don't just play them and then move on to something else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I review them, and then that's how I learn like new strategies. And once, I think maybe a few weeks ago, I fell into this opening trap against someone in chess camp,
Yeah.
and since then, I always know how to avoid it.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome. There's nothing more agonizing to me in chess than falling into a trick that I already knew that I've fallen into before. I didn't learn my lesson, and so here I am again. That's one of the worst things, is to lose to the same trick twice. um, awesome. So, do you have any goals coming up here? I know things have been messed up a little in terms of real life tournaments and nationals and things like that. Do you have any goals about your rating or about tournaments you want to play in or anything like that coming up in fourth grade, right? You're heading into fourth grade.
Well, I think I might want to hit like maybe 12 or 1300.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to play as much as I can before fourth grade because in fourth grade, like usually there's attendance, maybe not because of coronavirus, but I just because like then everything will be focused on school and it won't have as much time anymore to play the tournaments.
And this is a very smart thing. Yeah, fourth grade is pretty important for specifically for attendance as well as for scholastics. Yeah, that's true. So you're getting your work in the summer. I think 12 or 1300 sounds like a very, very reasonable goal for you. I mean, you're already you're playing in the 1,000+ group, right? In summer camps. Yeah, I feel like 12 to 1300 going into the next year should be pretty reasonable. I would expect I wouldn't be surprised to see you hit 14 or 15 by the end of fourth grade. Doesn't seem impossible at all. So here's here two. Well, I guess my last two questions. One is about your chess memories. What do you think is, of all the experiences you've had, and clearly, obviously, you have a lot of trophies there, and some pretty big ones. What do you think of as your favorite chess experience, like a tournament or something you did that's chess related that you always think about because it was so great? You would do it again if you could.
Well, there have been a lot of good games that I played
Yeah.
that helped me with to motivate me.
Yeah. Do you remember a specific game that you played where you're like, I beat this player that's, somebody that was like one of your nemesis or somebody really high rated?
Well, once I was up. I lost this game, but I was up against a player that I played a lot, but I never really got to beat him.
Okay.
Played a lot, and that just made me feel like, okay, I can do this now. I'm definitely better.
That's great. That's great. I think that's a benefit. Sometimes kids complain to me like, oh, I played this kid already. I don't want to play him again. I think it's a good thing actually to play opponents multiple times because it's like having a conversation with a person. If I see you on the street and I say hi and you say hi and then we move on, we don't really accomplish very much. But if we go back and forth a bunch of times, we learn a lot about each other and we learn about ourselves in that way. And I think that's the same with chess play. Yeah. So my last question, I guess, and this is kind of a big one, and this might link to your goals for fourth grade and things that might happen in the next year. What do you think? Now, you work hard on chess, I know, so you probably have maybe you have an answer to this, I'm not sure. What do you think is the thing that you need to work on the most? Let's say there's you now, and there's you at the end of fourth grade at, say, 14 or 1500 or whatever rating you get to. What is the thing that you need to concentrate on the hardest that will get you into that top level, next level for the end of your fourth grade?
Well, I think end games and tactics is the thing I have to work on because I just broke 1000. So I'm very new to the kind of end games they play. So I usually, if I battle a good player to the end game, and then they'll usually beat me in the end game because they haven't had much experience in the end game. So I try to work on those.
That's great. That's very, very smart. One of my coaching friends from a long time ago said, kids under 1,000 don't even really ever get end games because usually their games are decided in the opening or middle game. Somebody's up a queen and a rook, and then there's really no end game there. But you're right. Once you get over 1,000, 12, 13, 1,400, you could get to a position where it's king and rook and 5 pawns and king and rook and 5 pawns. And if you don't know what to do, that's like its own kind of opening knowledge. Like you have to have the ideas there. Yeah, that's for sure. End games it is. Okay. Do you have a good end game plan for learning end games?
Yeah, well, my coach, he gave me end games that I should practice.
Yeah.
And I'm trying as much as I can to practice them and look at them. And then I'm trying to remember the pieces on the board and what I should do then when the pieces are on board.
Yeah. How many important endgame positions do you think there are to know to be good at endgames, would you say? Like 10, 100? How many endgame, basic endgame positions do you think would make up a good endgame knowledge?
Well, maybe about 10 or 11, which is opposite colored bishops, bishop versus knight, knight versus bishop, pawn, king and pawns versus king and pawns.
Yep, that's good. That's a very good guess. I actually, the kind of general wisdom in high level chess, they say that the most grandmasters know they have a set repertoire of about 300 endgame positions that they know. To be, yeah, your face like, whoa. To be but that's for grandmasters. I mean, we don't have to stress ourselves out too much. I think you're probably right that if you know about a dozen or so key ideas, what do I do with my king? What do I do with certain pawn structures? What do I do in knight versus rook and knight versus bishop and so on? I think you're correct. Probably a dozen or so key ideas that you can then grow your knowledge out of is probably going to push you through. Vicky, I look forward very much to seeing your fourth grade year. I think it's going to be a big one. You've worked hard for 2 years in a row, and you're moving into the upper echelon, the top level of our team. And I look forward to your fourth grade year. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too. And your brother too is getting good, right? Is he still with it?
Yeah, it's like I think this year is the first year for both of us to start tournaments. He didn't really want to, but then he saw me and he realized that he can do it too.
Yeah, he's coming along. Right, he's going to be in second grade this year or first grade? Second grade. Does he try to steal your trophies at all?
No, but he sometimes he sort of plays with them and pretends like they're his.
Yeah. My son is a chess player too, and he has a little sister who just turned 4, and she really likes them too. They're really shiny. Vicky, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. It was very good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Keep up the hard work. Keep up the good work. Don't let your schoolwork get to you too much. And I look forward to seeing you enjoy chess in fourth grade. Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
All right. Okay. Let me turn off the recording thing here.